Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Ask Coffee School of Culinary Arts. My name is Chef Caesar. Today I'm going to show you how to make a wonderful, refreshing gazpacho. Gazpacho is a cold soup made with raw blended vegetables. This is a classic in Spanish cuisine. It originated in the southern part of Spain, and now it's widely used throughout the country and also in Portugal. It has its origins back to the Romans, but back then they did not have any tomatoes because, as you guys know, tomatoes are not native to the old world, but the new world. So it wasn't until the 19th century when tomatoes were introduced. Back then, it was probably a soup made with some olive oil, bread, some garlic, and water. So now with tomatoes, it's really refreshing, especially in a hot summer day. Is when it's mostly prepared. So the key is to get some really nice tomatoes. You want to get some Roma tomatoes or small rounds. Prefer the ones that are vine ripe because they're really sweet and they're gonna have a lot of juice. And you're gonna see when you cut a tomato that's been ripe in the vine, it's very juicy and it's really nice in the inside too. So you can see that, and this is gonna give you a really nice result. So we also have some wonderful peppers, bell peppers, red and green peppers, some cucumbers. I'm using today an English cucumber, also known as a seedless cucumber, as you see here. But if you can't find this at the store, a regular cucumber will work. Just peel them and cut them in half and remove the seeds, and that's all you do. I also got some red onions, some bread. I got some garlic here, some parsley, and some more ingredients. I got some sherry wine here I'm going to be adding to. If you can't find sherry wine, red wine will do the job. I got some wonderful extra virgin olive oil, some salt and pepper. So let's start by putting our soup together. And this is really easy to put together. So if you have a food processor like that you see here, this works great. Otherwise, a blender or a food meal would definitely work. So if you have like a small one, we can do it in batches. I'm going to actually do that too because I don't want this to overfill. Another thing too you want to do, you want to remove the seeds from the tomatoes. One thing you're going to see when you have a vine ripe tomato, they have a lot of juice in the seeds. So I kind of strain, put the seeds through a sieve, and I got all this juice. Okay, it's just in case your soup it gets a little bit too thick, you can add some of this juice, or you can save it and even drink it. So it's really good. So as a chef, we always want to try to cut down on the waste. We don't like to waste products. So let's start putting some of the tomatoes here in our food processor. I'm gonna do probably half. I got about 10 tomatoes here. So I'm gonna do a little bit of those tomatoes, probably do 2 batches. Some rough chopped green bell peppers, and also some red. A little bit of some cucumbers here. I got 1 cucumber actually, and half a red onion. So there you go. I also got some fresh chopped garlic, 2 cloves. I'm gonna put in there. Okay. I got some parsley here. All right. So I'm also gonna add a little bit of salt here. Be careful not to put too much because you can always add some more, but you can't take it out. Okay. So I'm gonna start this. Just pulse it. You don't want to get it too fine. Gazpacho should have a nice consistency, a little bit of a coarse consistency. So you want to be careful. I'm also going to add a little bit of olive oil, about 3 tablespoons here. I'm just going to do half right now and half, when I do the second batch. About 2 tablespoons of vinegar. This is going to really enhance the flavor here. Okay. You want to take a little spatula, kind of scrape the side. Some of those vegetables are going to kind of stick to the side of the your bowl here, right? Like I said before, a blender works really good too. Okay, a little bit more here. I'm going to show you the consistency. I'm going to set this aside, and I'm going to put this in a bowl because I'm going to do another batch. So this is not very, very puree or too thick, right? So I might puree the other one a little bit more. So if you do 2 batches, you can do one a little bit coarser, and the second batch really fine. So it kind of balances out, right? Okay, it's back here. And look and see this, okay? It's a little bit chunky, right? Look at that. And one of the things you also want to remember, when making any kind of soup, it's always important to let it relax, rest in your fridge. Especially this soup, you want to get it really nice and chill. And also what's going to happen, when you let it relax and kind of all the flavors marry together, any soup is always going to be better the next day. So let's do the second batch of vegetables here. See? It's going to make a nice batch. Okay. I'm also going to add some bread. I got some just regular French bread. You want to take the the crust off, right? This helps to give the soup a little bit of thickness too. Okay. Some of those. I'm going to add the rest of my garlic here. Okay. Oops. I'm going to use all of them. Okay. So put some of this. So just in case this gets a little bit too thick, I got some juice I can thin it down with. So, that's always a good thing to do. A little more salt here. Okay. Oil here. This is really good. And I'm also going to do a little cracked pepper here. I'm also using a little bit cumin. Cumin is a very strong spice, so be careful. You just want a little pinch, otherwise it gets to be a little bit too overpowerful here. So it's just like a little pinch here, and we're gonna finish pureeing this the rest of our gazpacho here. You can see this looks a little bit dry, so I'm going to add some of this tomato juice here that I saved from the seeds. Look at that. This is all really good, refreshing. Look at this. I'm going to puree this a little more. Okay, this should be good enough, right? Then we're going to combine this with our other batch already got here. As you can see, it makes quite a bit. 10 tomatoes, 1 cucumber, 1 pepper, one of each. You get a nice gazpacho. At this point, we're definitely gonna have to check for seasoning here too. I'm gonna add the rest of the tomato juice here that I saved. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna combine this. Look at this. It's kind of a chunky type of soup here. See that? So. So make sure that we taste our soup before we let it relax and rest before you serve it. Like I said, at least you want to do it 3 hours, right? But it's really good. It's refreshing. And a little bit more salt. I can add a little bit more vinegar. Okay. Maybe a little more olive oil. So we blend this. If you can do it a day before, it's even better. You're gonna find there's some variations too throughout the regions of Spain. So it's you might see it like a white one, but again, it really comes back to the same idea of cold soup. So a lot of people think, oh, cold soup's not really my thing, but you know what? On a hot summer day, it's really good. And there's a few ways you can garnish this. In the past, I even added some shrimp. Right now I'm going to show you to put some, maybe some Spanish ham. It looks like prosciutto, but it's really nice. That's one thing they can use to garnish. You can use some vegetables, some bread, just a little olive oil, some cream. So there's a few ways to serve this. And like I say, I've done it with some shrimp. grilled shrimp. It's actually a meal, really, by itself. So it's kind of really filling. So this is gazpacho here. As you can see, this is the consistency that it has. So it's not really smooth, so it has like a little bit of texture, nice like rough texture. So that's what you want. And now I want to give you a couple ideas to plate your soups. Okay. Okay. So you would normally not be doing this at this point. You want to kind of cover it up and refrigerate your soup for at least 3 hours or overnight. So. So in this one, we're gonna do a little bit of some Spanish ham. I'm gonna do a little bit of chef with the basil, nice fresh basil I got in my garden. I'm gonna do this. Okay. There you go. Oh, this smells wonderful. Okay. And also drizzle a little bit of olive oil on top. Okay. You can even crack some black pepper. There's one way to do it, right? If you don't have ham, you got a lot of vegetables that you probably have left over from your soup, right? One thing to also remember, anytime you're serving a soup, be careful not to get any soup outside the bowl. You want to have it nice and clean for your guests, so especially if you work in a restaurant or even at home. You know, we gotta be very conscious of that. So we can top it off with some chopped green peppers, some cucumbers. So look at that, a lot of colors in there. Love that. Okay. We can even do it's a little bit more, maybe some piece of bread on top here. Okay. You got some cheese, you can sprinkle some cheese. So there's a few things you can do. I got some wonderful chives too that I grow in my garden as well, that I could chop and put in there. So this is a really quick and easy soup to make. As you can see, I mean, it doesn't take much. You make sure you got everything ready to go, like you saw me here with my mise en place. Once you get your ingredients, ready, the process of putting it together, it's really easy. So there you have it. Wonderful gazpacho, nice and refreshing. It's really good, especially in a hot summer day like we're having right now. So give it a try, and you know what? You're gonna enjoy this. I hope to see you very soon. Thank you and have a nice day.